Well, IndyCar waited and waited and waited all day until Mother Nature forced its hand. Qualifying day one has been postponed, or the day one has been canceled, as qualifying as a whole has been postponed to move everything to Sunday. Here on Pit Pass Live, I'm Zion Brown from IMS, where we saw 0 cars on track today because of that. It started raining, I would say, right about 8 o'clock this morning, and it was just on and off throughout the day, and it did not stop in time for IndyCar and IMS to get the first part of qualifying in before the sun sets here in Speedway. So we'll move everything to tomorrow with the new schedule. Drivers will get practice in a warm-up round at 9:30. That'll be on FS2. Then at noon, all cars will qualify on FS2, and every car gets one attempt. So there is no going back and trying to improve off your first attempt, which is obviously what we usually see on Saturdays here at IMS. Everybody gets one attempt. The Fast 15 or the Top 15, whatever they were trying to call it earlier this year or earlier this week, that has been thrown out of the window. Straight to the Top 12 round. That'll be on Fox now at 4:30, and then at around 6 o'clock we will get the Fast 6 and eventually decide the pole winner and the first 2 rows for next Sunday's Indy 500. So should be excited to see everybody do it all in one day, nobody getting that second attempt. If there's any crash or whatnot, you don't get to try to work on your car and figure it out for 2 or 3 hours later. That is it. Wherever you finish in that case scenario is where you finish, which obviously would probably be 33rd or maybe 32nd if somebody else crashes as well. So could be a fun day. Still probably not quite a bump day, but it'll feel like a bump day in many ways because you have to be mistake-free to start the day tomorrow. Something that'll be very, very interesting tomorrow is the weather. It'll be the warmest day we've had in, I would say, at least a month here in Indianapolis, and the warmest day that these drivers have had on track between the open test 2 weeks ago and this week of practice, and even though it's not the oval last week of practice and everything with the Indy GP. So cars will probably be going a little bit slower, and just in general, there will be a different feel to these cars than all of these practices and chances that the teams and drivers have had to accumulate data so far this year. In a way, will be thrown out the window. I think when practice starts tomorrow, it'll be high 70s, maybe low 80s right around noon, and then eventually when we get later in the day, 3, 4, 5 o'clock, we'll be up to the mid 80s in temperatures tomorrow. So a lot unknown going into tomorrow, and it'll be very fun in a way. We'll see how teams do and how much it kind of translates to the race and how much we see impact from what we've seen throughout this week, and see how that can impact the rest of the day with the temperatures changing and everybody having to get everything in tomorrow. But we'll have the updates, and we will have an exclusive interview with P1 tomorrow, so please stay tuned to that for Pit Pass Live. I'm Zion Brown.